Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. You may now take your seats. Our distinguished government officials, our beloved families of the victims of Super Typhoon Yolanda, guests, good morning. We are gathered here today to commemorate the 9th-year anniversary of Super Typhoon Yolanda. To formally begin with our program, may we call on Tacloban City Mayor, Honorable Alfred Romualdez, to deliver his welcome remarks.
His Excellency President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr., Honorable Ferdinand Martin Romualdez, the House Speaker of the 19th Congress of the Philippines, members of the diplomatic community, international agencies, Secretary Abalos of the Department of Interior and Local Government, and distinguished members of Congress that are here today. And earlier we had Senator Francis Tolentino, member of the Senate House, and all our regional directors that are here, Monsignor Bactol, and members of the priest of the parish of Santo Niño, barangay officials that are here today, members of the armed forces that are also here today, our friends at mga pamilya na nandito dahil sa mga mahal nyo sa buhay ay nakalibing dito. Maupay nga udto ha ato natanan. Every day, we think of what happened in that fateful day of November 8, 2013. And every year, we come here to Holy Cross Memorial and we have a Mass. Many people are asking, maraming nagtatanong, bakit dito tayo sa sementeryo? Ang theme natin ay kailangan mag-move on. And I would like to announce, and I would like to also congratulate all Taclobanons for moving on. But the key to moving on, the first thing we had to do immediately after the storm was to bury our dead and to give them a decent burial. And that is what sparked all of us to move on and make their deaths meaningful. Kaya ako nagpapasalamat sa inyong lahat. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all those who have helped us, the different governments coming from different countries, government officials, local and national, for giving that very, very strong support to all of us. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Senator Bongbong Marcos, then and now President, who was with me during the recovery stage and during the retrieval stage immediately after the typhoon. And I would like to thank also Congressman Martin, now Speaker Martin Romualdez, who also was there. And talaga nagpapasalamat ako because parang mga kuya ko na tumulong sa akin para maayos natin ang Tacloban. And alam nyo, ginawa namin yan hindi dahil sa natatakot kami kay Mrs. Marcos. Ginawa namin yan dahil talagang araw-araw tinatawagan kami ni Mrs. Marcos and making sure talagang maalagaan natin ang mga Leteños, Samareños at buong mga waray-waray. It was the family really that inspired us to move forward. So I take this opportunity to thank all of you in making that dream and that task possible na nakabalik na tayo sa normal natin na buhay. Damo nga salamat and God bless us all.
Thank you, Mayor Romualdez. At this juncture, we call in House Speaker Ferdinand Martin G. Romualdez to deliver his message and to introduce our guest of honor.
After the message.
Maupayngod to, mga tanan, mga kasing-kasing, mga kabugtungan, damong salamat pagkanhin dito sa 9th anniversary of the Yolanda commemorative activities. Sa lahat po na nandito, lalo na sa ating mahal na Pangulo, our guest of honor, President Ferdinand Bongbong Romualdez Marcos Jr. Siya po ay sa mga bayani nung panahon yun. Kaya siya rin ang nandun, namumuno siya dyan sa mga relief operations. At kung hindi siya umikot, nakalipad siya sa chopper, nagdi-distribute ng Nutrobans, hindi niya kami iniwan. And that is why I'm very, very happy that his compassion, yung malasakit niya po, symbolized the recovery efforts of not just the locals, our regional neighbors, as well as our international community, as represented now by our diplomatic corps. But it is really, really a true and befitting situation that we have here now. One who really led us and gave us hope during those times of seeming desperation. That he never left us. And that's why we can see why the over 31 million people and now the 110 million people, Filipino people that he leads, are supporting him. Because his heart, his compassion is with the Filipino. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and a pleasure to introduce to you the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Thank you, Speaker Martin Romualdez, for your kind words. Oh, please take your seat. Kind words and introduction. The mayor, our Yolanda mayor at Mayor siya noon, Mayor Alfred Romualdez, who for kami ni Martin for 3 days, starting on the Saturday, Saturday nag-usap pa tayo, Friday. Saturday nag-usap pa tayo maaga, hindi ba, mga 6 o'clock. And then for Saturday, after that, we did not hear from the mayor anymore. And Martin and I walang balita. We didn't know if he was dead or alive. Until I saw him in the airport nung bumaba na sumalubong siya. That was the condition that we were in. I'd like to also greet the Tingog Party List Representative June Asidre, all my fellow workers in government, the members of the diplomatic corps, who must have a sterling mention for all the help and assistance that your countries came to Tacloban with, came to Samar with, came to all, even all the way to Ormoc, all the way to Cebu, who took the, who were, I felt like you were Leyteños yourselves, that you were Filipinos yourselves, the compassion that you showed and the generosity that you showed and the energy that you put into the rescue work for our people, and subsequently the rehabilitation that you helped with after the rescue work. And for that, we here are not only in Tacloban, but all of the places, all of the areas in which Yolanda wreaked havoc, we all thank you very, very much. Also, of particular mention would have to be the NGOs that came, not only from the UN, but from the different NGOs who just arrived here without us calling, who just arrived and offered to help with their particular offers of help. One NGO would offer fuel. Another NGO would offer shelter. Another NGO would offer cash for work. Another would bring reconstruction materials. All of these out of the generosity of your own heart. Once again, many people owe their lives to you. And for that, we cannot thank you enough. And all of us from Leyte, and all my fellow workers in government, good afternoon. And it is sometimes asked when we do have a commemoration of this kind, they say, why do we commemorate Yolanda still after 9 years? The people, those whose families had a loss from their families of a loved one, have learned to live with that grief. And although we continue to feel sad, life has gone on for them. So why continue? Why bring it up? I come here because I must commemorate those uncounted dead that up to now we do not know how many that number is. We must come to these commemorations so that we will remember those who we were told not to remember. If you remember, during the count of the casualties, the count was stopped. And we knew that there were still thousands out there. And for those thousands, those countless thousands, we come here, we commemorate. Because if we no longer commemorate, their memory dies. And it is only up to us to keep that memory alive. Because as I said, in a way, we were told to forget about them. And we will not forget about them. And we cannot forget about them. And I know you do not forget about them. That is why we continue to commemorate Yolanda, and we continue to grieve our dead, because we not only grieve the dead that are here, but we also grieve for those who we do not even know how many they are, who they are, and where they are. And for that, the tragedy of Yolanda continues. And furthermore, I think it is important that we come to these commemorations because it is also a demonstration, a manifestation of the strength and the courage of Filipinos. To remind ourselves that Filipinos are brave, that Filipinos are kind, and that Filipinos will conquer all, especially if it is for their community, for their families, and for the land that they love. And now to see Tacloban, which has, in fact, we have been hearing this phrase for a long time, this build back better. Tacloban has built back better. And it is a wondrous sight to see. And it always gives us hope that even if there are tragedies and disasters and other places, we know the Filipino spirit will never be quelled. The Filipino spirit will always burn bright and bring back normal life to their communities. That is what we commemorate. So these are the different elements that we were thinking of as we were going through the relief and rescue process during just after Yolanda. Is that what happens to all these people? How will we ever recover from this? Well, again, because of that Filipino spirit, that is how we have recovered from this. And I think that it is appropriate that at this juncture, that we all, I invite you to rise and to have a minute of silence, not only for those loved ones who are here behind us, but also for those who have been taken away from us and who we will never forget. Thank you all, and good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes our program. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of the Philippines, His Excellency Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.